My girlfriend said, "I'll make the burial, not the service." I said, "We're done." Then I saved the texts and story timestamps, scheduled the move out, split the bills, returned the keys, and went silent because that rooftop post she forgot about wasn't done making noise. Original post: I am 32, male. My girlfriend Natalie is 30. We were together a little over 2 years. No kids. We rented a one-bedroom near the lake with thin walls and a view of a parking lot light that never turned off. I work as an operations analyst at a warehouse company. Natalie works in event marketing. We met at a friend's trivia night. It felt simple at first. Last winter, my dad was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. The kind where doctors talk in weeks and good days are quiet. My mom called me the morning they found it. I drove to their house that night. I sat on the edge of his bed and held his hand. He cracked a joke about hospital pudding, and I laughed because I did not know what else to do. Natalie was kind at first. She dropped off soup. She texted hearts. She came to one chemo appointment and sat in the waiting room. After that, her messages got shorter. "How is he?" I would ask. "Busy day," she would write back. I told myself this was how people cope. I did not push. The first thing that snagged was small. I asked if she could come with me to visit my parents on a Saturday. She said she had a brand brunch she could not miss. I said there would be more brunches. She said this one had a sponsor. She came by Sunday instead, stayed 40 minutes, told my dad he looked good, then left for a yoga class. We kept going. I slept on a cot in the spare room at my parents' house 3 nights a week, took calls from the hospice nurse, and drove back to our place to shower and answer emails. Natalie would ask if I could move my car so she could get to her spin class. She would ask if I could Venmo her for groceries because she bought flowers too, and the total felt heavy. When Dad's pain got worse, the nurse said, "It could be any day now." I texted Natalie, "If it happens, the service will be next Thursday. Can you block the day?" She wrote, "I have a girls' trip that weekend. We paid deposits. I can try to come back early, but flights are rough." That word, deposits, felt like a cold coin in my hand. 2 days later, the call came. Early morning. My mom's voice was small and steady. "He's gone," she said. I sat on the floor next to my bed and pressed my hand to the carpet. Then I got up and drove to her house with a bag of black clothes and a folder for papers, because that is how my brain works when my heart cannot. Natalie came over that night and hugged me. She said, "I'm so sorry." She asked if I could change the funeral to Friday so she would not miss her trip. I said the chapel was booked, the pastor was booked, and my father was not a status I could move for flights. Her face closed for a second, and then she said she would figure it out. The day before the funeral, she texted, "I can make the burial, not the service. My flight lands at 3. The service was at 2. The burial was at 430 minutes from the church. I looked at the text for a long time. Then I wrote nothing back. I put my phone face down and ironed my shirt. The next detail was not big to the world but filled the room for me. After the service, while we waited for the cars, my cousin showed me a story on social media. Natalie and 2 friends on a rooftop with drinks. Caption, "Reset weekend, we earned it." The timestamp sat on the screen like a nail. I did not confront. I stood by the hearse and watched the light change on the hood. I put my hand on my mom's shoulder. I carried a flower arrangement to the car. I said the words you say to people when you also need them said to you. Then I went home and took my first action. I opened a folder on my laptop and called it Dad Plus After. I saved the obituary proof, the funeral program PDF, and the receipt from the chapel. I took screenshots of the texts where Natalie said she could not make it. I saved the story photo with the timestamp. I opened a new note and wrote the 2 sentences that mattered most to me. She did not come to my father's funeral. She went to a rooftop instead. That was the first action, not a fight. A file. Update 1, I waited 2 days. We buried my dad and ate casseroles in my mom's kitchen and told stories about a man who never once made me feel like I had to earn his love. When the house grew quiet, I drove back to our apartment and asked Natalie to meet me at the small park by the laundromat. Daylight, no drinks, places where words land different. She arrived in a white sweater and sunglasses. She hugged me and said she was sorry again. I said thank you and sat on the bench. I want to talk about Thursday, I said. About the funeral. About the story you posted. She looked at the ground. I told you flights were hard, she said. I made the burial, that counts. You posted from a rooftop during the service, I said. I kept my voice flat. I slid my phone across with the screenshot, no adjectives, no extra lines, just the image and the time. She went still. Then the words came fast. My friends planned this for months, she said. I needed a reset. Grief is heavy. I showed up where I could. You showed up where it was easy, I said. You did not show up where it mattered. You asked me to move my father's funeral for your deposit. She flinched. Then she reached for my hand. I am trying, she said. I brought you soup. I came to see him. You know I care. You can't make me into the villain because I handled pain differently. I am not making you anything, I said. I am looking at what happened. You told me where you stand by where you stood. Her eyes went shiny and angry at once. You blocked me after the burial, she said. That was cruel. I blocked you for a day because I needed air, I said. You were texting me about your flight while I was carrying my dad's coffin. That is what I had to do to keep moving. She stared at me. I could feel the quiet of the park around us. A dryer buzzed in the laundromat. A kid dropped a quarter and chased it under a vending machine. I am ending this, I said. We are done. She laughed once without humor. You're breaking up with me because I missed a church service, she said. I am breaking up with you because when I needed a partner, I had a calendar alert, I said, because the person I loved did not make space for the worst day of my life. Everyone grieves different, she said, softer now. You're punishing me for not matching you. I'm not punishing you, I said. I'm choosing not to build a life with someone who chooses rooftop drinks over my father's funeral. She looked away. I'll get my things, she said. I will move out, I said. I have a place I can go for a bit. We will do logistics by text. No more talks like this. She nodded. You'll regret it, she said, but this time there was no force behind it. I stood. I walked to my car. I put both hands on the wheel and let them rest there until they felt like mine again. Update 2, the next days were lists. I texted the landlord and asked for the process to remove a tenant or end the lease early. He sent a form. Month to month, 30 days, either of us could give notice. I wrote mine and sent it. I offered to cover my half until the end date. I asked for a final walkthrough. He put it on the calendar. I boxed my things. I took photos of each room before touching anything. I labeled what was mine before the relationship. Desk, monitor. The set of wrenches my dad gave me when I moved out the first time. I sent Natalie the plan in simple lines. Saturday, 10 a.m., movers for 2 hours. I will take my boxes and the desk. I will leave my key on the counter. She posted a long note on social media about a boyfriend who weaponized grief. She did not use my name. She wrote that she attended the burial and that should count. Her friends posted hearts. Someone messaged me a screenshot and asked what happened. I said, I'm dealing with family things. Thanks for checking. I did not explain. 2 of my friends came to help me move. We kept it light. We did not talk about the service or the rooftop. We carried boxes and set them in the back of a borrowed truck. I left Natalie a list on the counter of what I took. I took the wrenches last. They felt heavy and right in my hand. I did one more smart thing on advice from the hospice social worker. I made a therapy appointment. I told the counselor I wanted to learn how to grieve without making my life a project and without picking people who cannot sit in hard rooms. We made a weekly time. Natalie's support did not end so much as it deflated. She sent 3 texts in a row saying she was sorry I felt hurt. She said I was being dramatic. Then she posted a selfie with a caption about self-care. Another friend of hers sent me a paragraph calling me cruel. I did not answer. I made a sandwich. I ate it with the TV on low. I slept on my brother's couch for a week and then found a small month-to-month place 4 blocks from my mom. 1 bedroom, old wood floors, a window that sticks. I filled out the form and moved in with 2 suitcases and a box of kitchen basics. I put Dad's wrenches under the sink. Natalie sent one more message. "We could fix this," she wrote. "We can do counseling together. I was there for the burial. I was there." I wrote back, "I needed you at the service too. I needed you all the way through, not when it was convenient. I'm not coming back." She sent a final line. "You're throwing away love." I said, "I'm throwing away a story. Love would have been there." Update 3 weeks later, Natalie texted, "Please talk to me." I set a condition. "Coffee shop on Main, Saturday, 1 hour." She came in with a tight smile and a scarf. I sat with a tea I did not taste. "I was wrong," she said. "I told myself I had to keep my plans to stay sane. I told myself the burial was enough. I see now it was not." "Thank you for saying that," I said. "We can try again," she said. "I will show up differently. I will go with you to your mom's house. I will bring dinner. I will make it right." "I do not want to be with someone I have to coach into care," I said. "I needed you without a script. You showed me your map." She blinked fast. "I was scared," she said. "Death scares me." "It scares me too," I said, "but I stood there anyway." She swallowed. "Is there anything I can do?" she asked. "Please stop texting my mom," I said. "She does not need to smile at her phone and then feel small." She nodded. "I will," she said. She looked at the table. Her voice dropped. "Michael reached out," she said, like it might change a number somewhere in me. "That's your life," I said. "I hope you both get what you need." There was a beat where the world could have pivoted if I wanted it. I did not. I stood up. "I wish you well," I said. "Do not contact me unless it is about mail." She sat very straight. "Goodbye," she said. "Goodbye," I said. Final update. It has been 8 months since the funeral. My days are simple in a way that holds me. I work. I drive my mom to appointments. We eat soup on her couch and watch shows with canned laughs. On Saturdays, I take my dad's old coffee thermos to the park and sit on a bench near the baseball diamond where he used to throw me slow grounders. The thermos leaks a little. I keep a napkin in my pocket like he did. I adopted a dog from the shelter, a brown mutt who looks part something and part something else. I named him Pippin because I liked the sound when I said it. He sleeps with his chin on my foot when I pay bills. He forces me outside when I would sink into a chair. We walk past a church some mornings. I do not go in. I nod at the steps. Therapy holds. We talked about good grief and bad guilt. We wrote down a small set of rules for people in my life. Show up when it's hard. Keep promises. If you cannot, say it without a costume. I taped those words inside my kitchen cabinet next to a list of pantry items. I read them when I reach for salt. Natalie kept trying for a while. She sent 2 emails, then 3, then a card with a flower on the front. I did not reply. I sent one short line when she asked about mail. "Package on the porch," I wrote. "Pick up by Friday." She picked it up. She sent a heart. I did not send one back. Time did what time does when you let it. My mom and I emptied my dad's closet together. We kept the jacket he wore to every graduation and wedding. We gave away the shirts that had seen too many barbecues. I kept his pocket knife. I oiled the hinge and put it in my drawer next to the tape measure and the extra batteries. Work gave me a small promotion. I started showing a new hire how to read the warehouse reports. She called me patient. I took the word home and set it on the counter like a bowl that fits. A woman from my therapy group asked if I wanted to grab coffee after a meeting. Her name is Elise. She lost her sister the same week I lost my dad. We walked 2 blocks and talked about the way grief makes colors weird for a while and then normal again. I told her the short version about Natalie. She nodded. "Grief shows you who knows how to carry weight," she said. "We have had coffee 4 times since." No big talk about timelines. We send each other pictures of dogs doing dog things. People ask where the revenge is. They want a big speech at a rooftop bar. They want a line that makes a room gasp. I do not have that. My revenge looked like choosing people who stand beside a hospital bed without looking at their watches. It looked like a move-out checklist and a final walk-through and boxes labeled in black marker. It looked like blocking what hurt and letting what helped sit close. A nephew asked me at dinner why Aunt Natalie does not come around. I said she had other plans. He said, like soccer, and shoved peas into a fort he made out of mashed potatoes. I said, sort of. and passed him a napkin. Some days I still reach for my phone to text my dad a photo of something dumb, like the way Pippin tries to sit in a bowl that is for fruit. The ache comes, then goes. I save the photo. I show my mom. We laugh. We miss him in the way that makes the room both full and quiet. I kept one thing from the day of the funeral you would not expect. The small safety pin the funeral director gave me to fix a loose flower on my lapel. It sits in my wallet behind my driver's license. It reminds me that even on days when everything feels like it could fall apart, there are small tools that hold things together enough to get through the hour. If you are where I was, here is what worked. Believe what people do when your life is on fire, not what they say when the phone is cool. Write down the lines you need. Ask for help from those who offer it without a price. Protect your lease, your money, and your sleep. Hold the people who show up. Let go of the ones who do not. I do not hate Natalie. I do not wish her harm. I wish her a life where she picks people and is picked for more than plans. I chose a life where I am not begging for support on the worst day with my hand out and my eyes on a boarding time. The line I keep is small. On my fridge is a photo of my dad at a picnic, head thrown back, mouth open in a laugh you can hear when you look at it. Next to it is the list from my cabinet. Show up. Keep promises. Say the truth. I let that be my test for who gets a key to my home and a seat at my table. It is quiet. It works.